Hi everyone, it's Dawn Fisher, Morning Glory Needleworks. Welcome to FlossTube number 28. We're moving right along. It's already February 15th, goodness. Again, as always, thank you everyone who watches my videos, who subscribed, who commented. And as always, all the links to things I talk about, I've got some exciting stuff this time to talk about. There'll be a link down in under the description in the bottom under the video. It'll say comments or something. Anyway, there'll be links to all sorts of stuff that I talk about, link to my Etsy shop, Instagram, Stitch of the Month. Be sure to join Stitch of the Month, the Morning Glory Needleworks Facebook page, buy me a coffee, the Stitch a Day. If you purchase a pattern, we have a Stitch of the Day Facebook group. There's a link to that. You don't even have to buy the pattern if you just want to join the group and see what's going on. And so, like I said, it's the 15th of February. Oh, I forgot. Chapters. I break my videos into chapters. That way, if you just want to watch a certain section or only have time to watch a certain section, or want to come back and watch a certain section, in the comments or description of the video, there's a section called chapters. And then there's a timestamp next to the different chapters. I think this one's going to have, 6 chapters. And if you just click on the timestamp, it'll take you right to that part of the video. You don't have to scroll through and try and find it and figure out what's going on. So I do that to make it easier for everyone. So on we go. Life update. I want to thank everybody who sent healing thoughts, prayers, everything to us, to Jeffrey and I. We're doing well. Everything's going okay. We're just kind of taking it day by day, but life's going on, so we're okay. Unfortunately, our house is not doing so well. Our cute little house, which we bought 4 years ago, we had to have what they call a 4-point inspection. In case you don't know, that's your air conditioner, your or heating system, whatever, your water heater, and roof. So we had to have that because the fun of living in Florida is insurance companies decide they don't want to cover anybody in the state of Florida anymore. So that's what our insurance company did. So we had to find a new insurance company, which unfortunately is Citizens, because our house is older. I think it was built in 42 or 45. And that's like the insurance company of last resort. If nobody else wants to insure you, that's what you have to get. So we had that done, and unfortunately, the inspection said our roof needed to be replaced in the next 4 years. The life of the roof, life expectancy was 4 years. So that's not good enough for the insurance company. They want your roof to be at least 5 years life expectancy. So we've been getting quotes to get our roof done. Luckily, when we bought the house 4 years ago, there was some damage. We have an addition on the back of the house. It's kind of got like a flat, almost flat roof. So part of when we bought the house, they put in a new air conditioner for us, and they put a new roof on the back half of the house. The front half of the house wasn't too bad. So that part does not have to be done. So that reduces the cost by quite a bit. But anyway, so we're dealing with insurance companies and getting quotes and all that fun stuff. So I'm hoping by the next video, we should either have a new roof or we'll be getting one in the near future. Our roof's fairly small. So one of the companies I talked to today said it should only take a day. So that's what we're hoping for. So that's the fun of owning a house, especially in the state of Florida. The good thing is The last roofing company, at least that we talked to, they do all sorts of special things, which can bring down our homeowners insurance. So that's the fun we're going on here. Now, on to something more fun, actual fun. As I announced in FlossTube 25, I had met my main goal. One of my first goals for Morning Glory Needleworks FlossTube was to hit 500 subscribers, which I did. So for meeting this goal, I drew a winner from everyone who commented on FlossTubes 25 and 26 and gave their goals for 2023, their stitching goals or any goals. So, and the winner of the $25 gift card that I offered was Diane McClure. She was thrilled, and she sent me an email and picked $25 worth of gifts. So she picked 2 different sampler patterns from my Etsy site. This is the first one she picked. It's called Mama's Sampler 1. And this is the sampler here. And then this is just a close-up. I love the train and the swan. The sampler, I have the original sampler. I have this one and another one stitched by the same woman. And that one is called Mama's Sampler 2. And the reason I called it that was there was a note with the samplers when I bought them. I bought them at an antique show. And there was a note in it that said, Mama stitched these samplers when she was 6 or 7 years old. And it was done in like a white cotton even weave fabric. But that's all I know about it. But I just thought that was really fun. So that's why I called this Mama's Sampler 1. And then I have Mama's Sampler 2 has some blue and different colors, and it's similar. And then she also picked one of my favorite samplers, Victorian Silhouettes. This is a fun sampler. This is stitched on copper penny linen, which unfortunately is very hard to get right now. And the thread also was by Old Willow Stitchery, which again is not available. But I've seen actually a group, I was at a retreat a few months ago, and a group of women bought this, and they all stitched it different. It was fabulous, just the different colors that they used. I wish I had pictures. I wish I had taken pictures of them, but the colors that they used, none of them use this type of a mix. This is actually a pale pink. It looks white, but it's a variegated, over-dyed pale pink. So they all did it different. Some did it over 2 threads. This is stitched over 1 on 32 count. So it was fun to see how everybody stitched it. But there's different specialty stitches between each band. And this is actually kind of a reproduction. I bought a sampler, I don't know, many years ago. And it was actually done on canvas with wool. And it's actually about 36 inches long. It's huge. And each of these bands, and I got it because this is a Morning Glory band, and that's one of the reasons I bought it. But I decided to do it this way because the other one had like needlepoint stitches in between. So they were big blocks. So it was about, I may end up doing it like it is now, because I did this one many years ago, 2009, but it's still one of my more popular designs just because it's so lovely. But anyway, so it's kind of a reproduction, and I do tell about the sampler, the original on this pattern. So anyway, that is what Diane chose, and I was thrilled. I got them off in the mail to her the next day, and she was very happy with them. So that's that. And we'll see. My next goal is 1,000. So we're getting there. So I'm hoping pretty soon. I don't know what I'm going to do for 1,000, have a big party or something. So next, I've been talking about this all along. I've been reproducing this sampler. I actually have the sampler sitting here. I just love it so much. I actually bought it from somebody on Facebook, and she's tattered. She's a little worn. She's had a rough life, but I just loved it, especially the big birds on the baskets, and then Adam and Eve there, and the birds at the top, and the border. I just love it. I'm having so much fun. But I've been giving an update during every FlossTube, and I've just moved the scroll bars down. You can see I've got Adam and Eve done. I've got the borders done on each side down to the bottom of the scroll rod here. And I don't know if you can see it. Let me put something behind it. I don't know. Oh, you can see a little bit, the verse. The verse I'm stitching is actually almost the same color as the linen. So it's a little challenging. Oops, I can't get it up close enough. The first letter is of some of the words are done over 2, and then the rest of it is done over 1. And let me tell you, it's challenging on the same color, using the same color thread as the linen. This is 36 count. And so it's a little challenging, but it's okay. I think there's 4 or 5 lines. And then, maybe there's more than that. Let me pull up the original here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines of over 1 here. 6 lines. You can kind of see the verse here. And then she gives her name, Mary Ansell, age 12 years, November 8, 1822. And that's done in pink. So that'll be fun. So basically I have to do this wording and her little name. And then there's a little band here down at the bottom. Oops, decorative band. And then the bottom band on this, which also these wonderful flowers. I don't know what these are. To me, they look like moths, but when I got them out, when I started charting it, they're actually flowers. But I'm stitching it with DMC floss, and it's moving along, considering I don't really stitch that much. I usually only stitch for a couple hours every night, sometimes more, sometimes 3 or 4 hours, but it's usually just a couple of hours. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. I've been trying to keep everybody updated. I love it so much. I'm having a good time. The over 1 section that's the same color, I can't stitch that when I'm very tired. So that one kind of slowed me down a little bit. Now, again, I announced it last time, but I want to announce it again. I'm going to go over it real quick. And a lot of people had asked about this sampler, the Star Spangled Sampler. And I'm going to be teaching this an online class for EGA. It's posted on the EGA website. I do have the link posted with my description of the video. And there's a link on there that you can sign up to get a reminder that the actual class opens up, not the class, but the sign up opens up on May 3rd. And the first lesson is going to be posted on August 2nd. And there will be 4 lessons. One on August 2nd. I'm going to break it down into sections and go over each of these stitches. There's 30 different stitches, over 30 actually different stitches in the sampler, each band. There's the star, and then these are stitches, and then these are stitches. So every section of blue is a different stitch, and every band is a different stitch. So the lessons will include written instructions, and I'm planning on doing some videos. I have to talk to them on how they would like the videos done. You'll be able to download the lessons and ask the teacher, that's me, questions, and there'll be group chats and that kind of stuff. You'll be able to post photos of your progress, all that. You do need to be a member of EGA to take the class. You can look on the website and see if there's a chapter near you. If there isn't, you can join as a member at large or as a member of Cyber Stitchers, which is what I belong to. So the cost of the class is $50. That's for the lessons. You will need to buy your own fabric and threads, which I used a 28 count natural linen. And these are sulky threads, sulky blendables. If you don't have access to sulkies, you can order them directly from sulky.com. Or if you want to use DMC or Gentle Arts, Weeks, Silk, whatever you want, I will give you numbers so you can, I will give like comparable DMC and some other colors so you can kind of look up and see how you want to stitch it. I stitched it this way to make it look more worn like the original Star Spangled Banner is, which is at the Smithsonian. So I'm really excited. This is my first foray into this type of class, which is great. I mean, I've taught classes online before, but this is a little bit different because it won't be live online. You will download the lessons and work on them at your own pace. So, you know, I'm excited about this, especially because I'm not going to be traveling for a while. So it'll be fun. So you'll have a few months to get everything ready, get signed up for the class and all that. So again, I'm really excited and I'm hoping it goes over well. I'm sure it will. Everybody who's taken this class really loved it anyway, and it will bring me to a wider audience. So I'm excited about that too. I love meeting new people and stitchers and just getting out there. And since I can't get out there right now, this is my way to get out there. Now, I'm so excited. I mentioned it in the last video. My latest purchase, no, it's not a new sampler. It is this wonderful book, which is amazing, by Dawn Cook Ronigan. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say her name. I've even attended things that she's talked at. But this is a wonderful book called Sewing Rolls, Needle Rolls, and Housewives, or Housewives, which is how it was shortened too. So I really haven't had time to read all of it, but just looking through this makes me want to go find some more of these wonderful needle rolls. There's different chapters in the book. Oh, there's a link to buy this book from her Etsy shop. I think it was $49 with free shipping, and she autographs it. The autograph book. So anyway, the chapters include thread channels, flat pockets, gathered pockets, embroidered, and needle rolls. And I'll show you each one, but there's some fabulous. The photographs are just amazing, because I have her other book that's on antique needlework tools. This one, the pictures are much larger. They're very large. And there's like an explanation on each page, a full explanation or description and history of each item she shows in here. So again, I'm thrilled about this. So again, the first chapter was called thread channels, and I'd really never heard of thread channels. These are like needle roll, or a needle roll, or a sewing roll, excuse me. So here, I'm going to read a little bit out here, just a paragraph about the thread channels. It says, before thread was commonly available on spools in retail stores, it was spun at home or sold in skeins and hanks. Some skeins were stored in a simple paper folded on pleats. So the thread could be wound onto decorative spools or small amounts placed on thread winders. I don't know if you've seen the little, especially like ivory or mother of pearl thread winders. So, and it says the spools and winders were sometimes from fitted work boxes and made from materials like mother of pearl. Winding clamps could be used to wind the thread from the skein onto the spool or reel. And another option was to store the thread in a handmade roll. So what they did, they took these rolls, and you can't really see, but I'll show you another picture. They sewed channels and actually ran the thread down into these channels. So let me find, and I'm telling you, the pictures are amazing in this book. I'm just drooling the whole time I'm looking at it. I'm trying not to drool on the pages here. Here on this one, you can see these are the channels, and then they would slide the threads. This is the inside, slide the threads into these channels. Trying to find one with, I know I had one marked with, that you could actually see the thread in it, but they're just amazing. The variety she has. Here's one here. And you can see these are the threads. Trying to get it. These are bundles of white cotton thread slid in there. Now I did pick a couple that were just beautiful that I wanted to show you. This one is made from red velvet. Isn't that gorgeous? Let me see it. Let me hold it up better. Isn't that amazing? All the stitching, the beautiful pictures, and this is velvet on the outside. It's just, I want one so bad. And this one too, I love this one. This one's called Prussian Blue and Brown 6-pocket roll. So it has 6 different pockets, and you can see they're all different scraps of fabric that these were made with. It's just amazing. I have another one here. Nope, that's that one. Okay. And this one, look at the colors. Those beautiful. And that one, she actually labeled it. So go get to my next marker here. Okay, so the next section, thought I had another one marked in here. Maybe not. But it's so nice because it's like every page is just one grouping. So you can just look at that one and concentrate on it. Now the next section is called gathered pockets. You see these are kind of the same, only there's like a gathered pocket here at the bottom. So she talks about those and goes over them. And this one I wanted to show you because I was so excited. This is a silk ribbon bag roll. So at the top here is a bag. And then this is a needle roll. And this is the silk ribbon here on the back. And when I looked at it and I went, that looks really familiar. Here I have the same silk ribbon on something in my collection. So I was thrilled to find that. So I'm going to show you mine. Mine, it's a little bit different, but it's the same beautiful fabric. It has roses on it, and they're kind of almost like a watercolor. Very trying to get it to where you can see it better. Very soft, kind of worn. And the inside this is all wool. This is wool in here to put your needles in. And then down here in the bottom is actually another little piece of wool. And there's still a couple of pins left in it. Again, I left it as is. And this, to me, it looks like it was stitched by machine because it is very, very finely stitched here around the edge. And, maybe these were commercially made. So they were So they were, you know, you may have been able to buy these, a kit of, or not a kit, a selection of them, because there's a couple others in here that are made from this same fabric. This is the only one I have, and it's really pretty. It's hard to see it. I hope it shows up better in the full video, but it's like a green wash on the edges, and then these beautiful roses. So I was just so excited that I was looking through here and found this same fabric. Mine's a little more faded, but that may just be how it is. And then again, I was excited. This is a red silk double drawstring roll. Isn't that beautiful with the red? I love it, but I'm so excited because look what I have. Mine is in yellow, obviously very worn. The silk is kind of coming apart. And the one she has is a drawstring, whereas this one may have been at one point, but somebody has stuffed it. And I think that's common too. They use these as like pin cushions. So this has been stuffed, and it's actually, you can't see it, but it has string wound around it. So it's like permanent. It's not just closed. It's been closed or pulled tight and then string wound around it. And it, just like hers, this one opens up. And this is, you can see there's still the needles in there. And this is wool again. And you can see she feather stitched, and the feather stitching actually attaches. You can see the stitches here along the bottom. That's how the silk is attached to the wool. Now this, sometimes these open up, but this is solid. I'm not sure what's in there. I kind of looked inside the ends and I can see some fabric in there, and it's very, very firm. So it's probably stuffed maybe with cotton or something, but it's firm. So anyway, like I said, I was so excited to see the same type of thing. Unfortunately, you can see that the silk is really, this just sits in my case. I don't usually bring it out. And it has a little hook and eye there to close it up. But that's in my collection. Very exciting, as I said. I would just, it's so much fun when you find something you have in a book. Okay, so I'm on to the next one. And again, you remember my other one. This is the same type of fabric. It's much brighter. Where's mine? It's much brighter than my fabric, but it's the same type of fabric. And this is a silk roll for darning cotton. So you can see in this pocket in the bottom, there's 3 rolls of darning cotton in there. But isn't that just lovely? And then she gives, like I said, a complete description of it, the size. This is circa 1920. It just talks about everything about the item that she's describing, or that's pictured there. So it's wonderful. And then the next chapter is embroidered ones. And I'm sure you've seen these. I love these, like the flame stitch, Bargello stitched sewing rolls. I don't have any of those yet. I'm always looking, but this one is phenomenal. I want it so bad. Isn't that amazing? Get it out here but you need to get this book. I'm telling you, if you enjoy needlework and other items, this one was stitched by in 1763. Isn't that amazing? Let me get to, and this one cross-stitched. And this one is circa 1800. And it says, where shall the child of sorrow find a place of calm repose? the father of the fathers, pity the orphan woes. Wow, that's amazing. Anyway, another beautiful sewing roll here. One more here. And here, the next section is needle rolls, which is what this is. Just a real long for needles. This one actually even shows the different size needles. She's embroidered the number of the needle roll on there. And again, here's another, this one is similar to mine with the same type of silk fabric. But I'm telling you, this book is great. It's big. I don't know how many pages it is. It's 250 some pages or 40. But the wealth of information in this book, I could just sit and gaze on it for hours. So that kind of inspired me. I wanted to bring some more. I've shown you a couple of items out of my collection, but I wanted to show you a few others. This one is a cute little, it's a little bit different than what she was showing, but I love the fabric. It's like a, what do you call it? Polished cotton. It's very kind of shiny. And this is the inside. I'd say this is more probably from the 50s or 60s, but it's a cute little, looks like a little pocketbook. But I love this. It almost looks like Asian influenced or something on there. This one is another needle roll. I love it. It's like a plaid tartan satin fabric. And again, it just unrolls. And this is all, this is wool. This is silk. It does have a little pocket here. And I don't know if this was for threads, to put your threads in maybe, like the other ones she talked about in the beginning of the book, and maybe the needles for this. And then there's a little flap here for needles. This is the back. And it just rolls up. And then there's a snap. Actually, this side of the snap is missing from here, but there's the other side. So it just sits in my cabinet with all my others. And this one, I love this one. My dad was in the Navy, and I believe this is a Navy sewing kit because it has your name and USS. So I would assume you're supposed to put the name of your ship in there. And this is for them to repair their clothes. It has safety pins. There's white and black buttons. Somebody obviously used it. There's a needle wrapped with thread. There's a little flap here. I would think a pair of scissors would fit in there. Unfortunately, there's no scissors, and also, unfortunately, there's no name. There was no name. Open this little pocket up. You never know what you're going to find. There's a little pocket on the end here that you could put things in. But this is just a wonderful, very basic. It came with this thread, which is mending. 24 yards, made in England. It just says mending, Chadwick's mending thread. So that was inside this sewing kit when I bought it. So I just left it in there. So, but this would have just been part of their pack during the war. So, and then I have, this is another roll. Has a little satin button on it, and it has a little bit, no, not this one, that's a different one, never mind. But this, isn't this wonderful how they put the pins in it? I did not do this. This is how it came, how it was when I bought it. All these needles, little pins, which, you know, they've not rusted at all. And a wool is very good for keeping items in. And it has packs of threads in it. It says 5 yards, made in Japan. Yeah. no, 10 yards, I think it says. But it almost looks to me like mending, hose mending, because of the colors. All the colors are very neutral. There are some darker brown. Maybe it was for darning. Just trying to see if it says anything else. I'm not sure. This may be silk. I'm not sure. But anyway, there's all sorts of bundles of spools of thread in this wonderful wonderful kit here. You could just carry that with you, and it's got pins and all sorts of things you could want, and then just folds up and buttons. I'm not going to button it, but it just goes around the little satin button there. Wonderful travel kit. And this is a fun little, this is silk fabric, and the inside is padded. Now the ends almost look to me like they were pouches. See how you could, I haven't done it, you could draw this closed. I don't want to do it because it's been laid flat. This end looks like at one point it was gathered shut. So something, I don't know if you could carry stuff in the ends, but it is padded in the center. There's no pockets or anything to it, but it's just fun, very pretty. Oh, I don't know if you can see all the little holes where the needles were in this. There's all sorts of, it's hard to see. There's some, you can see where the needles left marks on it, but so it was used. It was definitely used. Okay, this is the one I was thinking of before. This one has maybe trapunto or something raised there, raised embroidery where it kind of poofs out. And this one actually looks like, I think there was a button on there, but it got torn off. So it's kind of damaged. But this was a cute little, again, little travel sewing kit. And this one has the just all the colors you might need to mend something. It has a few pins, and a needle in it, a few straight pins, and some safety pins. So that's just a fun little, again, travel kit. Got a couple here that this isn't really, it's kind of a huswife, I guess. This is probably shaker, but isn't this beautiful? I believe this looks like it's suede, but I'm not sure. But it's a little sewing kit. This to me, I think, if I have a tiny pair of scissors, I think a pair of scissors went in there, but I don't want to jam. I don't have a tiny pair here with me. I think a pair of scissors fit in there. Like I said, I don't want to mess with it. But if you look around the edge, there's pins all the way around the edge of this little box. And it has a snap here. And carefully open it up. Look at all the needles. This is, I think this is satin. Looks like satin ribbons. Can you see like 3 satin ribbons put on there with feather stitch to decorate it. And then it has spools of thread. I don't know if, this may have been something someone bought or they sold. I was trying to take it out, but you can't because the thread is actually woven through and tied with a ribbon to take the thread out. Now you can pull a piece of thread out of there if you wanted to, but to actually take it out, you would have to untie this ribbon and unweave. Each one of these holds one of those spools of thread in, so they won't come out. How great is that for a travel kit? And it has a thimble in the little pocket here. There's a thimble. And then that down there looks like, here we have a tiny piece of beeswax. Isn't that wonderful? For your threads. It looks like it was used. I can see some little marks on it. And then I don't know if I can get this out of here or not without everything else. There is a, there we go. Ah, I love it. A strawberry emery. It's not a strawberry, but this is a bag of emery to clean and sharpen your needles. Isn't that fabulous? Again, I don't know where I got it. Some of these things I've had for so many years, and it's heavy. It's not real light. I mean, this top is solid, but look at all the needles in there. Holy cow. This was serious sewing, but it looks like there's 3 pieces of ribbon where the needles are stuck in. But anyway, that's a wonderful little kit. It has a little snap, so it closes up. Wonderful travel accessory. And I'm going to have to see if I can find a little pair of scissors. Usually I have them everywhere, but I have everything everywhere here. So, and this last little one I want to talk about. I saw this and I fell in love with it. It's a little bit different than the other items in the book, but this is a needle, kind of a needle book, needle doll. Isn't she wonderful? This little, and then she has these satin ribbons. And you open them up, and this is wool, felted wool in here to put needles in. There's actually some safety pins in here. This is how I bought it. But it's this little doll. She has this beautiful little face, little arms, and here's her little legs and feet. So she's a whole doll. I was surprised she's in really good shape. Her hands aren't chipped. Her hands aren't chipped or anything. You see, she's got beautiful blue eyes. And then her little dress is, she's got ribbons, little silk ribbons wrapped around her. But isn't that lovely? What a wonderful way to keep your needles. So that, I think, is everything I was going to show you. So I think we're done. Yay. But again, I love the book. All of her books are wonderful. So be sure to check her out on Etsy. Check out the book on Etsy. As always, thank you to everybody who watches my videos. It always excites me when somebody new subscribes or comments, or if anybody comments on my videos. So be sure to subscribe. All my videos are posted on the 1st of the month, on the 1st of the month, of course, it includes a stitch of the month. Every month you see I do a new stitch. And then, so the videos are posted on the 1st and the 15th. Be sure to let me know if there's any stitches you're having problems with or would like to learn, and any other antique sewing items you might want to see, or what you have in your collection. I'd be excited to hear about that. Again, all the links are posted below. So that's it. Thank you again. I will see you on March 1st, which is my birthday. So I'm hoping to have some more exciting news. We've had, along with all the kind of bad stuff, we've had some very good stuff happening. So I should have some more, some good news for you in the next video, or exciting news. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again on March 1st. Thank you.